Hello, 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 LinkedIn, hello, Facebook, hello, YouTube. This is Linda Murray Buller. They call me the business plug. And so today I'm going to plug you into something that you probably don't even know about, but it's happening and it's happening now. I am here to tell you two things before we get to that. The first thing is my book, my autobiography, The Well Ran Dry, it was a Christmas book. Like this is the season, right? So my book talks about my mom. And in fact, that's her picture when people think it's me, but it's not, it's her. It talks about her. It talks about her experience of a very sick illness like COVID back in 1968. She was 33 years old, and I was the youngest of her six kids. And so she got sick right about Thanksgiving time and lingered around self treating. And then on Christmas morning, I lost my mom. But the book talks about that. And it talks about how that one day has been the catalyst for everything else that's happened in my life. So you can get the book on Amazon, amazon.com, by looking for my name and the Well Ran Dry Memoirs of a Motherless Child. In addition to that, if you are a small business and if you've never been in business before and you didn't have a business coach and you're like, I want to have a good business, but I don't know what I'm doing. Well, guess what? My next cohort starts on January 7th. And so in the description of this video, you will find the link for you to enroll. And guess what? $50 reserves your seat. $50 reserves your seat, and we will start on January the 7th. You will simply click the link, pay the $50, go and select a date for you and I to have a conversation so that I can learn more about you. It's kind of our one-on-one meet and greet. But after I learn about you, I will give you all the information that you need in order to start class on January 7th. And at 10 o'clock, January 7th is a Saturday morning classes. So before you get up and get started, we're going to be going for 12 weeks on Saturday mornings at 10 o'clock. Okay. So that all that out of the way, all the ads, all the stuff out of the way. Now I want to introduce you to my guest who's talking about healthy and wealthy, right? She has the Healthy and Wealthy Center here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Hello, Melody. How are you?
I'm good, Linda. How about yourself?
I am doing very well. So please introduce yourself.
My name is Melody Hunsinger, and I am opening a center for health and wealth. I did a little Google search. I haven't really seen any other businesses combine these two. But everyone knows if you have great health but no wealth, you're not very happy. And the true for the opposite, if you have lots of wealth but you're not in good health, you can't live a fully happy, satisfying life. So I wanted to combine those two, and my motto is come for the health and thrive from the wealth.
I love it.
So, really, what was the catalyst for me opening this center is I got my life insurance license and I onboarded with a company called FinFit Life. So FinFit Life is on the billboard outside of my location, and I their motto is health, wealth, and the lifestyle to enjoy it. And since we are incorporating those things with the Vitality program that is amazing, I can tell you more about as later. I said to my sponsor, can I put a sauna in my establishment and have that going on too? And he said, sure. And I went overboard with it. I'm getting, I'm getting, I have PEMF mats, pulse electromagnetic field therapy mats. They're lined with crystals that you heat up the crystals, they release negative ions. So you have that negative ion therapy. Um, and we have red light and near infrared light panels. We have sound machines for sound therapy. And we have what are probably our fastest, most versatile is frequency medicine.
Mm. And so we talked yesterday about the frequency medicine, and you talked about brain waves.
Mm-hmm.
And you talked about how there is proving results that while you're not making a medical claim, but there are studies out there where they've used various therapies that you use and had
Mhm.
great outcomes.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yes.
so tell us more about that.
Oh, there's, I don't remember which study you're citing because there's so many for all the different, all the different therapies. But they do PMF, so the low frequency, wavelengths that they send to rats' brains, and it increased oxygenation in the brain, and it increased HGH and melatonin.
Mm,
So we just, so much of this, there's not enough research that's going on, but I got a degree in psychology. We always start on rats, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
so they're the closest to humans to study. So if it's something that happens in rats, we're pretty much okay. That's probably going to be the same as true in humans,
right, right, because mammals and mammals, right?
right?
Yeah. So we talked. I think we talked about the 40 and the brainwave,
Mhm.
and
Oh,
you were
yeah,
talking.
the
Yeah.
40 hertz. Okay, now I remember which one you're talking about. So 40 hertz is a magic brainwave frequency that has been shown to stave off any more progression of Alzheimer's.
Mm, wow. And in this period, like because I don't think I have Alzheimer's, but I do have like brain fog things from COVID, right? So I
Mhm.
have the remnants of long term COVID, and
Mhm.
the clarity, like you talk about more oxygenation into the brain, like
Mhm.
that excites me because a lot of people, because that helps with mental clarity and a lot of things, right?
And detoxification and immune system boosting. Yes.
Yeah, yes, yeah. And so this is different because this is not taking pills.
Mm-mm.
This is using your body's rhythm
Mhm.
toward healing, right? How did you get
Right.
out into this?
After I got a degree in psychology, everyone said, "Oh, you're gonna go become a counselor." I said, "Really, if I was gonna do anything, I want to be a researcher." But I became a flight attendant for 10 years, and in that time, I found a neurofeedback practitioner that I was able to work under, study under, and our main focus, well, just what she had become known for, was helping people get off depression medication.
Mm,
So I'm a firm believer that everything that you do with neurofeedback, you can do yourself through meditation.
mm-hmm,
It's just that it takes really a long time, and a lot of people can't get to that meditative wavelength. We have alpha, gamma, beta, delta. We have it all going at the same time, but what's dominant, that's what we say what state we're in. So for depression, we try to get more alpha on the left side of the brain than on the
mm,
right side of the brain. So
mm,
when people have too much alpha on the right side of the brain, they elicit symptoms of depression.
mm,
And then people would get off their medication and they would come back once a year and make sure those brainwave patterns were holding. And I never ran into anyone who didn't, whose pattern had gone back.
mm. And that's important because right now, with all the we've had rain, seems like the 40 days and 40 nights, but
Which is
but we've had rain, and a lot of people report that in the wintertime is where they have seasonal depression, right?
mhm.
Because we're not
No,
getting enough sunlight to help
right,
us, right? I
right.
actually went to a psychologist, and she put me on vitamin D. Like she was like, "Oh,
Mhm,
no, no, no! You being of my heritage of an African American woman, that because we need it in order to
mhm.
keep us balanced." And I didn't even realize how low my vitamin D was, and it was like 8 when it should have been 32.
I'm don't quote me on this, but I think vitamin D is the most depleted nutrient in everyone across the board. People have a low amount of vitamin D, so it's like the highest nutrient that we're most commonly
Yeah,
depleted from.
absolutely. And you don't really realize how much it affects, right? Because it's moves, it's hair, it's skin, it's It's a whole
Yeah.
bunch of things. And a lot
Yeah.
of things that people that I was going through at the time was because my vitamin D was so low. And it was because I
Mhm.
wasn't getting sunshine. I wasn't,
Right.
saying 30 minutes of sunshine will help you. And so
Right.
understanding about our chemical makeup and understanding how we work, our body works. Like we'll go to the doctor when it's about our arm, our leg, anything below
Mhm.
the neck. We'll go to the doctor. We'll go to
Yeah.
the doctor. But then when it's above the neck, when it's our mental state and our the way we feel and the way we thrive, which everything is
Mhm.
in brain central, right? We're not that quick to go get help for those things.
Yeah, well, there's a little bit of a stigma about it. Maybe kind of a lot of a stigma, and then you only kind of shame yourself when you're feeling down because you don't do things that you want to be doing. You start shaming yourself and feeling guilty, and just compounding that effect.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thanks, Mary. So Mary says people need to reduce the dependency of prescription meds, and she's happy to hear that you're working on this because we need to understand our body, and you're doing a great work. That's why I'm so glad that you gave me your yes, and that you're talking about alternative methods of finding
Hmm.
healing.
Right.
And so, what does that look like? So first of all, before we get to that, tell me
Sure.
who should be reaching out to you.
I want to help as many people as I can, obviously, but really, my focus is on building people, people that need wealth and people that, um, don't have a ton of money. I'm trying to offer a lot of incentives to make the monthly membership cheaper. Obviously, I have a high overhead with rent, but and I'll need employees. But like I want to offer discounts if you do volunteer work.
Mm.
Show me that you've got a slip from a community kitchen. You've been feeding people. We'll give you a good discount. Um, uh, because I want these things that are typically very only for the rich, it seems like. The place that I researched that has red light therapy, they charge $50 for 10 minutes. And that's just not feasible for somebody to go the amount of times you need to go to really see the benefits.
So, what is red light therapy?
Okay, so red light therapy, so it's been scientifically proven to heal cuts faster.
Mm.
You can actually, it's just LEDs. It's nothing like expensive. You can get a small portable one to keep around your house in case you get a cut. You put it on there, and I think it's about twice as fast on average that the research shows that it heals cuts. And then near infrared is also in the panels, and that gets a little bit deeper into the skin tissue. So it's going to help with, if it repairs your skin that fast, it's going to repair your muscles as
Mm.
well. So if you work out a lot, it's good to get some light therapy to be able to keep going and not have that horrible, oh, my legs are so horrible, I can barely walk today because I worked out.
Yeah, yeah, the after effect, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But predominantly red light has been used for its beauty effects. So for the collagen boosting and the skin tightening. But the there's really amazing research in the field of light therapy, so much that the scientists gave it a different name so it would be separate from we're going to make your skin pretty. um, and they call it photobiomodulation to
Ah,
make sure that you understand that this is serious.
yeah, yeah. Photo bio modulation. I like
Right.
it. And
Yeah.
so, and again, with I remember I worked at an insurance company, and one of my employees had the seasonal depression thing. It's probably the first time I ever heard of it. And his therapy was sitting
Hmm.
under lights, sitting under bright lights for X
Hmm.
number time, minutes a day to
Yeah.
help him to keep his moods up and not feel so dark and not feel so depressed and things. And he reported that it worked because
Yeah.
even when I interviewed him, he was like, "Well, Miss Linda, I need to tell you, I need to tell you, in the wintertime, I don't do well. That I have
Right.
this." this going on, and it affects me being able to get up and come to work because I've spent all night crying and beating up on myself and whatever he was going through. But I remember that was my first introduction to actual light therapy.
Mhm.
It
So
and
red light therapy can help with anxiety more than depression, I
mm,
believe.
mm,
Now there's still a lot of research that needs to be done. White light is for the seasonal affective disorder. It's more research has been done on it. I'm not
yeah,
gonna say one is better than the other, but white light has more research to its effectiveness.
yeah, because it emulates the sun. And
Yeah.
so supposedly, that's what we're missing during these winter months, especially like if you've been in Chattanooga last week, or we have had rainy days like back to back, which is super unusual for us. But yeah,
Right.
so what does it look like? I know when we talked, you talked about partnering. So there was a
Mhm.
buddy system that was included in your program. Tell us about
Right.
that.
I mean, it's not mandatory, but it's highly encouraged because to get to be paired with somebody to help you reach your health and wealth goals.
Mm,
So if you have you have like an addiction to eating, or you have an addiction to spending money, you want to be paired with one or two or three people that'll be available. You can text them, and they can talk you out of that donut, or they can talk you out of that what's in your Amazon cart. They can help you, like, put some of this back, put some of this on the back burner. You can always get it later. you know really just being conscious about, do I need this? Having that person to be there, to help you second guess these decisions. A lot of the stuff you buy, you realize you don't need. Weeks go by, you didn't even use it. You bought it,
yeah.
and you're like, man, I kind of wish I had that $20 instead of this.
And the thing about that, this is peer to peer, right?
Right.
So these people are going through the same struggles you're going through, and
Mhm.
they've agreed to be your buddy. So
Mhm.
it's more than someone who's not going through what you're going through, who's kind of dogmatic, and you don't need that. Talk yourself out of it. But then a person that is a peer is more compassionate because they
Mhm.
realize you're like them.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like that. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool.
And we're also working on a lending club as well. So, right now, I'm working with Devin Gann. She's going to do the coding for the lending club.
Okay.
And because the best book that I ever read on saving money, you open it up, it says how to save money. Every page it said spend less, spend less, spend less. My dad had that book, and he just like got a hoot out of showing it to everybody. But really, that's the key. That's the
That's the
secret
key.
sauce,
Absolutely.
you
The
know?
key is spend less or make more.
Right. And it's a
Because
lot harder to make more than it is to spend less.
yeah. But I'm in the so one of my coaches, she is all the way against depriving yourself, right? And I'm
Mhm.
talking about Patrice Cunningham Washington, who is my girl. In my head, she's my best friend. And and she talks about, how you either way, you have to come up with a solution that works for you. And
Mhm.
so spending less is an automatic solution, right? But then don't spend so much that you don't get to live the kind of life that you
Mhm.
want for yourself. And so
Mhm.
understanding that balance in that,
Mhm.
don't deprive yourself, because I talked to my girlfriend about this relationship I had where the guy wanted to live off 5% of his income.
Oh, his income was crazy high then.
No. Would have been nice, but no, it was not. And to me, that's unreasonable.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, so there's extremes. So understanding there is extremes, and then just finding what works for you. And I love that they can come to your facility and they can get both. They can get health, they can get coaching in their health to get back well. And then in addition to that, they can get coached about wealth. And so you told
Mhm.
me yesterday about the life insurance policy that pays and pays, that benefits you two ways?
Right. So, we have proprietary software at one of the IMOs I'm with, and what we do is we take all of your accounts that you're paying right now, all your debts, your home loan, your car loan, all your revolving credit, and you give us the APRs and how much you owe on it and how much you're paying on it, and we take the same exact amount of money that you're paying, but we funnel it through a life insurance policy first. So we have a whole team of people that make sure you're borrowing from yourself on time, you're paying yourself back on time. And in this system, when the way we do it, your money grows while you've got it out. So your
Mm,
money is working for you in two places, just like the bank. They're growing your money while you're borrowing it out. So
yeah.
you're going to turn yourself into the bank and you're going to grow your own money while you're paying off your debts. And it's saving the average family $70,000 in interest.
Wow. Wow.
Mhm.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot
Yep.
of money. That is a whole lot of money. And that would be very good, a very good strategy. And that's the thing is I like people like yourself who come on and talk about different strategies that most people don't even know exists, right? Because
Right.
somewhere listening to this video, somebody feels like they're under, you know, under a elephant sitting on their chest about the different debt and how they're wondering for solutions. And
Mhm.
so the solution that you're offering is giving them life insurance, which
Mhm.
everybody should have, right? It's giving them
Yep.
life insurance. And then it is also helping them get their arms around the amount of debt that they have so that they don't have to use their life insurance early, like stressing out about bills and stressing out about payments. That can
Mhm.
actually, worry, that stress of that. So you're giving them two ways that they can have their money working for them. That's a conversation worth having.
Yeah, it is. And the great part of it, we put your retirement date, you stop making premiums on your retirement date and you start pulling it out for your retirement.
Mm,
That, we just did a client that was, 16 years from retirement. We're going to get her out of debt. I can't remember quite the amount of interest she was going to save, but at the end, at her retirement, she was going to have $100,000, and
yeah,
she was going to be taking that out. So that's $100,000 she probably wouldn't have.
yeah, yeah.
Plus, if she passes, then her beneficiaries are not going to be left with the burden of paying off her debt.
Exactly, exactly. So it is worth a conversation to have, because not just for yourself, but for your family.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good information. Really good information. So you have health and you have wealth, and
Mhm.
once you get them healthy, they're ready to get wealthy.
We're gonna get you wealthy from the get-go.
I
I do
love
wanna
it.
get a lot of side hustle classes going on as well, and that would be free for members. And, I'm not just like any MLM can come in, no. I know I love MLMs when you work them right and they don't work you, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
Like, they're not working you and all your family, making you pay monthly. We actually at the center, we have the frequency medicine is part of an MLM. So if you want to go out and you want to buy your own, but I don't have to pay any monthly, meet any quotas, hit up any friends. Just when people try it, they try it once, twice, three times, and like that that's really making an impact, and then they can buy it, and I get a percentage.
okay, okay. So you teach them how to do it at home.
Hmm.
Oh, it's great. So that way they can get it as needed.
Right. I mean, I'm not trying to I'm having options here that are affordable once you get the wealth. We'll always have new people coming in, so you need to be a member forever. You can start affording this equipment. Find the one that works for you, pay us for a little while, and then just like come back for we have a tea room, just come back and have tea and stay a lending club member, and now you're more wealthy, you can have all these things at home because really you'll be saving gas. You'll be saving time. You can, in your home, you can listen to loud music if you want to while you're getting red light therapy. We're 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 trying to graduate people, you know.
Absolutely. So talk about that lending club.
Yeah, the lending club is in the works. It's being coded. I tried to find a lending app that I could just, hey, it's already made. We can just like make our little community here. But I couldn't find a good one. So we will be, placing a hold for a replacement amount when you borrow, but it's just a hold because I want people to feel safe lending things that are upwards of like $300, I mean, even my tent, I'm going to put my tent in the lending club. We went camping and it's like $165 for a pop-up tent at
Wow.
Walmart. So, that tent's going in the lending club. Am I going to go camping every weekend? No. Somebody can be using it and saving themselves from having to go get a $165 tent
Yeah,
from Walmart.
that's
And
great.
I've got a lot of people. I have a little barter group on Facebook because there was B2B barter, but there wasn't. Back in Arizona, we had barter for just like regular people, goods and services, and so I bartered a really nice couch set for the sign on my building. So,
Oh,
um, yeah. So that, I didn't have to go out and spend $1,000 on that sign. I had a couch set that was really nice that I just didn't have room for. I was going to do an Airbnb, it didn't happen. So, um, and, and then I've got, um, what else? What else? A lot of people in the barter group are offering up different things that they want to put in. I'm happy to put tons of my business clothes in the barter group.
hmm.
I don't wear business clothes every day,
Right.
uh, and really, the bulk of my clients are going to see me in a health and wellness place. I want to be in comfortable clothes too. I'll just throw on a blazer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
I mean, from the waist up, right? It's no longer to be, from the waist up. As long as you're looking appropriate for these online meetings, then the
right.
body can be pajamas. I think they said loungewear went up like X number of percentage since the pandemic because people are online now.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's another thing that I wanted to mention. The tea shop is because we are so online and we're not getting as much human interaction. The tea shop, when you come in, you get paired with somebody to sit and talk to, and you can't use your cell phone. You can, if you look at your cell phone, you have to tip the server an extra $2 every time. So I'm trying to raise people's consciousness and their togetherness.
And
And so if they
intentionality.
don't, there's a lot of networking out there where they just throw you in a big group of people and you're like, here's the wolves, go talk to everybody. And I mean, it's not for the faint of heart, and
Yeah.
that brings out a lot of anxiety. But when you come here, we have the tea with the PMF that goes around your head. And so we'll pair you with somebody who's also um, trying to using a theta program. So I can't sit people together with one running theta and another running alpha because they transmit a distance of 5 feet. So
Okay.
you'll be paired with a person that is also asking for a relaxation session.
Oh, yeah. That is just interesting. That whole concept is very interesting. And so you say you're opening. When is your opening day?
December 30th, we're having a big event day. We have from 4 to 6. Myself and Tyler and Intuitive is going to lead the manifestation class, and we'll be we call it vision boards because that's what people know. We're actually making vision pouches because I don't want everybody to walk around this big clunky board. You can make the board at home, but we'll give you little pouches. You put all your stickers in there and stuff. And Then at 6 o'clock, we have transformational breath work with a manifestation intention. And at 7 o'clock, your friend and mine, Bates Reed, is going to do transcendental meditation.
That's my
And
buddy.
then around 8:30, when the band sets up, Danimal and Friends is playing from around 8:15, 8:30, till they asked what time was their cutoff time. I said, you don't have a cutoff time. So they're so that could be really fun. And there's 4 huge parking lots for everyone. But bring a cushion if you're gonna. I went out and I bought like 10 cushions, but I'm like, I can't have a zillion cushions in the space. So bring a cushion just to sit on for the breath work and meditation.
Okay. And so this is an indoor outdoor event.
It's indoors, but if it's nice, we have huge outdoor area. Have you been to the Meeting House coffee shop?
I have not been in that part of town. My brother used to live on Signal Mountain Boulevard, and
Okay.
we used to go through Dayton Boulevard to get to Northgate in different places. So we used to stop along the way doing
Hmm.
our little escapades there. But I lost him in 2019, so I've not really been that
I'm
way
sorry.
since then. Oh no, it's fine. I'm better. Not healed, but definitely better. But I haven't been in that through that path since then as regularly as I was going back then. But yeah, but I'll have to make a trip to see what's out there again.
Yeah, it's New Year's Eve. So I told my marketing person, let's also like market to people who don't have anybody for New Year's Eve to go celebrate with. They can maybe
Yeah,
find their New Year's Eve buddy at the event. So market
absolutely.
to lots of new in town people.
Absolutely. What a great idea. What a great idea. And so that way you can start the new year with a new friendship.
Right. That's what we want.
That's a good thing. That is a great thing. Well, yes.
As
In closing, what would you like to have our listeners take away from this event?
um definitely that they show up to the grand opening, and a thing that I like to say, your network is your net worth. And that's why I'm putting a lot of community emphasis behind this space. You know, you can the sky's the limit when you pair up with people. No
Absolutely.
man is an island.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so what we will do when you get your flyer, please
Mm-hmm.
make sure you share it with me so I can share it in my community.
Okay.
And we'll ask people to share it, to tell as many people as possible, because you never know who needs this type of therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems less invasive than some of the other options. And the fact that it's not pills or
Mm-hmm.
injections or, something that would be harmful, or I think people are turning away from all the big pharma, the medications, right, the pills and things, and so it's really worth people looking into this type of therapy. Go ahead and do your Google search now. Go ahead and do your Google search now, and know that we have a local provider of light therapy. Go and learn what light therapy can do for you in your life.
I just realized I hadn't explained that the health center is called Center 108. It's in the back of the FinFit Life Center. And the reason I did that is because FinFit Life is a branch, and I didn't want to go to them for every marketing idea that I have. So Center 108 is that name's chosen because 108 is a spiritual number. We have
Mm.
108 chakras inside our body and one outside. Buddhists use 108 prayer beads. They say 108 prayers. And it's a lot of religions have the number 108 as significant. And they say if the number 108 appears to you often, then you're reaching the end of your spiritual journey. Well,
Mm.
I have 2 houses that are 108, and
Wow.
one I'm getting ready to sell in South Pittsburgh to
Wow.
fund this business because it went out of control.
Yeah, because you were it was a sauna, and now it's all kind of things.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we're doing steam saunas. They'll come later because yeah, I was inspired by being a business consultant for Sisu Sauna, like reinvigorated my ideas back into the health and
Okay.
wellness field. So
Okay. Well, yeah. So if you're listening to this, they can reach out to you at any of them. I've given them your email address, your website, and your
okay,
telephone number, as well as your street address. So if they want to mail, if they want to send you a letter, if they want to email you, or if they want to go and follow you, you can also
just show
follow
up.
them.
Just show up. You know.
Absolutely. You can
A
also
lot of
follow
days I'm
her.
there with beta testers. Right now, I have beta testers to give me Google reviews.
Oh,
So,
great. Great.
yeah, so if they want a beta test this week, it's pretty good. We might be doing some build out, but it's still good.
Okay, okay. But it's an opportunity for you to sample what you don't know. And like I said, go ahead and Google it and look at the research. Look at what they say on Google. Go to WebMD, that's where I normally go. But go to something that you rely on for your information, and then learn what light therapy can do for you in your life. Also,
And frequency PMF therapy is actually like my favorite.
yeah, yeah, because I probably need to come get that myself. Get me out
Yeah.
of this COVID funk. But yeah, so we will definitely be in touch. But thank you all for joining us this evening. My name is Linda Murray Bullard. They call me the business plug. And tonight I have introduced you to health and wealth from Center 108 and Melody Hunsinger. Thank you for joining me. I'll be back next Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. You will again get to listen to something very interesting because we have business topics for business people here on the Business Plugs Mixer. You guys have a great rest of your week and good night. See you next week.